to kindly honor Mr. Abhi Yogi sir.
Yeah. No, this is part of my I hope you like.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. With over 2 decades of experience as the design innovation principal at Nabros and Partners LLC, he has worked across industries and continents to transfer businesses, schools, and communities into idea building ecosystems. But what truly sets him apart is not just what he builds, it is what he awakens. He believes that innovation is not a skill for a few, it is the core function of being human. At the heart of his life's work is a powerful philosophy called the yoga, a holistic intellectual practice that encourages a balanced, open, and continuous learning lifestyle. It teaches us how to catch, plant, and grow ideas in every pursuit, whether in schools, work, art, or lifestyle. As an author, his books are now available in over 400 major stores and libraries worldwide. Book of the Yoga, introducing a simple yet profound framework of to nurture ideas. Book of the Truth, presenting 108 curated ideas that challenge us to seek deeper understanding. Book of the Love, an upcoming release designed to transform thought patterns and inspire love and light. And iINVENT, wake up the inventor within you, a global call to action for every individual to recognize their inner innovator. He is the founder of iINVENT Me, a global initiative that nurtures innovators of all ages through platforms like Nabros Hubs for Learning and Innovations and 1816 Zen. He integrates design thinking, incubation, and creativity into the real world systems. In 2024, the Diyogi Foundation was established to support the next generation, especially children in need, helping them build ideas that shape a brighter future. And his creativity doesn't stop at books and businesses. Through his musical album, Songs of Thee, available on global streaming platforms, he connects thoughts on life, love, and light with music, reminding us the creativity is not defined to one medium. His philosophy is simple yet transformative. When we live a balanced, open, and expressive life, we learn from everyone and every situation, and in doing so, we gain the power to build our best ideas. Today's session, Concept to Creation, Design, and Idea Generation, is not just about design. It is about activating your intellectual creativity. It is about moving from imagination to impact. It is about realizing that each one of you has a potential to innovate beyond boundaries. So, to prepare to think differently, prepare to question deeply, prepare to invent boldly. Without further ado, please join me in giving a powerful and heartfelt welcome to Mr. Abhi Yogi, sir.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for coming. ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಹಿಂದಿ ಮರಾಠಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ನಡೀತದೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಡೀತದೆ. So ನಾನು I don't have much to say as just told everything about me. Today I'm going to share some music. So I'm going to put that up. It'll take about 5 minutes. And I'll share some stories. And if you feel those are going to help you in your path and pursuit, apply them. And if you think, hey, you know what? That's awesome. Okay, so some songs and stories in line with, as Madam said, design. That's the theme. So having said that, bags. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಗಿಟಾರ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು. No, I don't. So until we get the bag, my apologies for the delay. It was supposed to be at 11:30. I got into the gate at about 11:15 or 11:10. I graduated from the college. So today I found out Hemlata madam was out, she and me with classmates. Fine. So I did not know that. So for 20 minutes or so, I tried to find this location because the college has changed class. But then, as I was thinking, what should I tell the kids? You know, when we think about design, being in what's the word, fashion technology. I asked the first person that I met, I want to go to the fashion technology college. He sent me to the Polytech college right in front of me. So I went there, when they said, no, there is no fashion technology here, you have to go there, go around. So I went around one security gate or security guard after the other, to the old boys' hostel. And from there I came, and then I was in contact with madam and whatnot, and finally we came to the park, and here we are, waiting for the time, right? So, no, that's not. No, thank you. So when we think about design, fashion or roads or a home, right? Everything is designed. You think about it. If I'm going to build a home, right? It's a design. If I'm going to build a car, it's designed. And we talk about design. Applying design is a very difficult thing. Because we have thought about design, then my personal instinct would be that let's not block all the roads. Maybe let's finish one road, then start the other. Right? So in fashion technology, you guys are, I saw some of the beautiful garments that you all have downstairs, the gowns and whatnot. So if I am to design one gown like that, right? I would do what is the pattern first, right? And finding out the garment that I would like to use, maybe one or two sets, whatever it is. Then the cutting, right? And then comes the stitching, then finishing. Well, the reason I know this is because I started my career stitching shirts. I'll tell you more about it. And how that has helped me today to sort of develop a little bit, right? Not perfect, little bit of design centric train of thought. So when you think about design, I tell you, come let's think about the greatest art. You know, you guys are doing this beautiful art here, yeah? It's just really, amazing. I love it. But for this idea to come together, so I say, let's sit here and start talking on how to design something for Adi who's coming, yeah? I don't know if some idea like that would come. I don't know how that design idea comes or creative idea or creativity comes. So what we're going to talk about today is whenever those creative and design centric thoughts come, how can we catch them? How can we plant them and grow them? Because your madam, she was into, she graduated from electronics and communication. Yeah? I also graduated from electronics and communication, engineering degree. Engineering. How much I learned, I don't know. And that is not to be taken as an example here. I'm just sharing what not to do. Because all of this is very new to me. It's all this construction. And where you see all this construction, there used to be trees. And still not to be followed again. I used to go on my motorcycle with my girlfriend to the trees. And there used to be some friend who would do what do you call it? Attendance proxy something. So as I was riding, the teacher is still here, you can go and vouch or ask them, did this happen? And she'll say yes. I was riding motorcycle and out about not attending the class. The attendance was being taken. Someone said yes when she called out Abhi. She's seeing me out there on the motorcycle. Then she said, who said that? One of my friends stood up and told it was him. Then I had a earful. Long story short, engineering, I did learn. Yeah. What I had to learn. And that also contributed towards the design. So can you all hear me now? So when we talk about design, and if you ask me how much I love people, connecting the dots, I think I did. But it's not a one-time thing that you learn in the classroom. It's a practice. And every experience, be it outside of the classroom or inside of the classroom, helps in developing that train of thought. That's what I'm looking for. So Kannada again, Dikshuji, help us, individual Disha. How do we develop a train of thought to go in that one direction of design? So if there was a fashion technology, I think I would have joined that versus electronics. Because what happened is, that I graduated, All my friends, they took up jobs in Y2K project. Big offices, AC, and they were making big parts back then. So it's Y2K project, that you guys are all working on. Found out that they were going in and changing the date from YY to YYYY. So most of you, if you think of it, don't know what the heck that is, right? Because you all are all young, you guys were born in 2000 plus, yeah? Right? So what that was, in technology, as it was coming into open. The dates in the past were like if it was 26, right? 2026. In the computers, it was just noted as 26. There was no 19. Right? So they said we have to convert the year from just YY to 4 digits. All my friends that joined the job convert YY to YYYY, 4 digits, and making big bucks. They said it's boring. Right? So I went to Pune with my motorcycle and shifted from there. And, uh, it was good. Right? A lot of fun. But then I joined a job to sell computers. Okay. So I sold computers. And that helped me to get into the sales center. And after 6 or 7 months, whatever fun plus job, did a fashion show when I was a, what do you call it? Huh? Portfolio. Portfolio. So I'll tell you more about that. How about song? Can I sing a song? So I have some Hindi songs, other songs, and some English. Let's see if you all like this, but I'll give it a shot. And I'll tell you about that also singing in the Where's someone in the next can get? Um, कभी मैं कभी Thank you. Will that come over? It came on over. Now, I don't know if your man was there when this happened. In the first year, that's when I started learning this stuff. 1992, when I was at the BUD college. Learning that from my friend who was also in the computer science. It was 2 weeks into the practice of guitar that I said, I'm going to go and sing in the gathering. So I just been practicing for 2 weeks. Even my friend said, it's a little too early. Huh? Do you really want to go and sing in the gathering? I said, yeah, I think I could. So this, at the audition, they said, yes, you can sing because I was the only guy who was going to sing the English song. So I don't think they knew the original and they thought whatever I was singing was there. So on the gathering day, with the curtains open, I was there with my head. No, saw all the people and I froze. I sang something. The drummer, he beat something. My friend was the bass guitarist, he played something, but it came out so bad. So, what? You go and, be on the side, you all know him? So, including everyone said, okay, guitar, please do. This was about 34 years ago. But then we practiced. We went to STM college. We won a first prize in some multiple and whatnot. I kept practicing guitar because I like that song. So I hope that song came out okay. I think it did because otherwise you guys would have run out. Okay? So where I was going with this is a story. If you hear your madam's story or this story, it's about doing what we like. There are things that we find out, I like, ice cream, for example. But then I like to do something, right? And that keeps changing as we age. But doing whatever we like, it's very important. And when we do what we like, I think it helps to cultivate that design-centric mindset. So if you're now studying fashion technology, and if you think, whatever your journey might be, I don't know where it's going to go. Huh? If you think this will help you or this will not help you, I can guarantee it will help you. So whatever you're getting a chance to learn here in the classroom, it helps. Learn from, no one threw the tomatoes, but learn from that and how to practice more, yeah? When it comes to the guitar. And let's say someone claps, then think about where did I go wrong? What was the singing? Where can I do it? So learn from the up and the down. From scoring 100 to, let's say, scoring 60 or 70. From having friends who tell you don't bunk classes, attend, so that you can learn. Someone who said, yeah, let's go up, down. So you got to learn from both on what to do and what not to do. And in that experiment, start figuring out what you like. It doesn't just count. Fashion tech in doing this is, let's say, the first step or second step or third step in your life. Then it's free. And after this song that I'll sing, I'll tell you more about how stitching shirts, doing a fashion show, has helped me in my life. Right? Be an engineer, to be a father, to be a husband, and everything that the madam said. ನಮ್ದು AI ಬುಕ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕ ನಾನೇನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅವಾಗ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ the old song. Back in the 90s, we had a few channels that came to the cable and MTV. So this song is a song from for songs that I really like. Called 38 Baham. Did anyone know that song? No. So when you go and listen to it on YouTube, Sarkiye Pahan, you'll be like, it's not the song he sang, not because I think the way I think. The original song is fast. Mine is slow. And this is how I can. But it's come out all right. You liked it. So do check out the original. Which brings me to fashion show and city fairs. Right? We talk about learning from everyone and everything and doing what we like. So many things we talk about. Now we're talking about doing things the way we. If you ask me, sing it like the original, I can't. This is the way I can sing it. Now, amongst you, there'll be much more talented folks who can come here and sing it even better. I don't know, but this is the best that I can do. So, be it exams, be it life. The one question I ask myself is, when I go back home, or when I do this, did I do my best? That's it. Nothing else. So, I got some good marks, I got some bad marks. The only question that I would ask myself is, did I do my best? I could have done even better. Getting there. But even now, it's, did I do my best? So one of the things with design centric trade of form, there's always room for improvement. And it's not about improvement because someone gave you some marks or you got your picture in the papers, right? Or you won the first prize at a particular college. It's about you. Only you know. Hey, you know what? Could have done this a little bit better. That a little bit less. But long story short, going to college here, after college, in the name of MBA, going and having fun. And I came back here to Hooghly. And again, no direction, yes. So this was about 6-7 months after graduation, just enjoying life. My parents never questioned me or anything. I went to KMC. That's where all the, what I say, all my friends were. All my engineering friends have gone to the YYY, right? And when they heard that I was in Hooghly doing a fashion show, what is the word? Not doing it. For the KNC college. Huh? Why? Because together we had done a fashion show. Right? We were just friends, yeah? We like fashion, we like. So when the girl who was from Malaysia was the choreographer, and no one would show up on time for practice. And I would saying this music, that thing. And she was the lead choreographer. But no one was showing up for the practice on time. So she was in here one day. So I got they said, whoever doesn't show up on time from tomorrow is out. No more coming. You don't need to come. They're like, who the hell are you? I'm like, I'm the assistant choreographer. So that's how it started. And from next day, people came on time. What the choreography, maybe won the first prize. That was nice. But close, right? Choreography. And what they taught me was, you can be creative with music, with your clothes and all that. Discipline. Time. We don't have respect for time. And I don't know how we can work together. So today, I came 15 minutes or half an hour late here. That's a big thing. And, ma'am was there by the car. I'm like, why don't we cancel this? I'll come another day, and etc. She's like, no, don't worry. But it's a big deal, right? Because it's her, it's your day. So 15 minutes or half an hour into how many we have today? What 62? You want to go 50. So 15 minutes into 50. It's quite a bit of time wastage of 15, half an hour. Yeah? So time and discipline is important. It's what I taught me with choreography. Made a lot of friends. That's when now she's my wife. Right? She wasn't one of the girls whom I was dating, but she was my best friend because I would want to like this happened and that happened and whatnot. And it was during that time that realized she's the one. She's always been there. Huh? So I asked her, hey, you marry me? And she said yes. Okay. The parents said no. If the boy is useless. Huh? So that's when my life started on a serious note. And the reason I tell you this, right? So there's so much of information here. I hope it's not overwhelming you. But you're in college, yeah? Make good friends, boys and girls. Share with one another, what do we feel? Back then we didn't have smartphones, right? So we would just go and share whatever came to our mind with the closest friend. It was never on the phone. The friends would maybe put some sense into you because people like me, if we didn't have good friends, sadly, because I was going to quit and go with the girl to find your college. Huh? But they said, haven't you do that? Why not? And that's how they classified my high emotions. Here I am. But where I'm going with this is we might have 10,000 followers and 5,000 friends and whatnot. But having someone close to you, friendship, being open about what you feel, you think, helping each other out, those are relationships that can't be built virtually. So if, let's say I was doing this on the screen, would it be the same as me standing here? Huh? It won't be, right? Yeah, I mean, you can go and watch some of the videos, but would it be the same? So there is something about in person, yeah, that you're like, I don't know. Hmm. So from the choreography time to um, including when as I was sitting in the parking lot, very open. And sometimes I call anxiety to the others as my wife and children. I apologize, I try to get better, but I hope. I tell you whatever I feel. My children, one is 26, the other one is 22. Yeah, I had them earlier, so when people used to ask me what do you want to be, I said, I used to say husband or father. Okay, so it was never an engineer and this and that, right? So they're at that age, but what I tell them, have good friends. Be open, express whatever you feel. Some friend might, whatever you think is right for that person, say it, right? Build good relationships. That's going to help you with your pursuits, be it designing, fashion tech, or tomorrow you become Prime Minister of this country. Yeah? I don't know where life takes us. But remember that learning from everyone, being open and expressive, helps us to, what do I say this, building relationships. Towards the end, I'll tell you how it helps with design. Yeah? But that's what the fashion tech taught. How about a song? Too many stories, I think, yeah? And please tell me, yeah, are we enough, so many stories to overlook? Yeah? Can I sing an English song? Or a Kannada song? No, 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 no. I'll sing the Kannada song. I learned this from one of the kids who was an intern from the UAE when we started doing these sessions in schools. So he would be the person who would play the guitar and sing songs, yeah? So he taught me this song, Hope You're Right There. And I knew you might have heard this. The reason I announced it is because though you might have heard it, you'll feel like if you're hearing the song for the first time. This version, it's called Munjane Manjane. That's the. But you all know the song. Did that come out all right? Was it like the original? But was it okay? So the reason I share this is it's taken me 50 years to figure out my tune. Yeah? The way I can see. So a lot of time was spent in following someone else's tune. Yeah? I'm not saying not to learn from everyone, yeah? But if we focus on what our tune, your design, whatever it might be. It might be designing the footer, it might be designing pants, it might be designing a handkerchief or whatever it might be. Yeah? But if you keep at it, you'll find your tune. And then it just starts flowing. Because whether I sing the English song or the Hindi or the Kannada, yeah? I don't know how you guys hear it, but I think. So for me, it has taken 50 years or so. And it takes maybe a week or I don't know how long for each one. But keep at it. That's all I can say. How do we keep at it? Keep doing what you like. Huh? Have such inspirational staff and leaders following their footsteps. Learn from everyone. Telling you my life story. I'm not saying follow all the things that I did wrong, but learn from what not to do. Yeah? Maybe some things that I did right and say, no, I can pick this one. Yeah. So then, keep giving your best. Help friends. And figure out your own tune. But with the story, I think I talked about the way of the field. Respect what I mean. My life now. Yeah. And then I got serious. Said, I got to find a job. My late father-in-law, he needs someone who can protect and take care of his daughter. Yeah. Not that it was the motivating part, but it, was practice. But I decided one day to get serious and for an own break. So the two spots, right, as friends, we would go up to iINVENT. We could ride our motorcycles all the way up and sit there and watch the city lights and discuss life and I say life with what we had night. Right? So it wasn't about taking here right? And then we used to go to Uncle, some it's the word where suddenly knows these words. Give it, right? Have some give it, right? Discuss. And one of the things my friend said, there's a management training position in Bangalore, and you always talk about technology and you always talk about business. It's with the garment manufacturer. Why don't you apply? I was going to apply, but I got my MBA seat in Kosari Institute in Harvard. It's where he went. And he gave me the cutout from the newspaper saying, why would you apply? So I said, yeah, I'm applying. And I applied to that management training job in the garment factory. I went to Bangalore for the interview. I cleared it. Okay. Somehow. They said, well, you want to come tomorrow for the final thing. I said, going back to the field. So if you can please tell me we can wrap this up today, okay? So I interviewed with the director of the company who told me that they were bringing in consultants from US to create the state-of-the-art facility in Bangalore. And management trainees would take over the responsibilities of consultants after the meeting. He asked me one question, which I will tell you because it's stuck in my mind. He said, Abhi, there are two politicians who you don't like, but you have to vote. Who would you vote for? And I said, neither. I will not vote. And what he told me, and this was, I was 23, said, be the choice that we have to make in life. Right? It's not between good and bad all the time, but it's between bad and worse. Right? So we make the choice that is the best in that situation. As youngsters, we'll make a choice, right? Sometimes might be going too fast on the motorcycle and wiping out on the floor on the highway and getting hurt, which is wrong. Don't do that. But that's a choice we make. And then we learn, right? So where I was going with this is in your life, when there's a choice that you have to make, try to make the one that is good or the best one in that situation. And if you look back at it, you might think, I made the right choice, or I did not. But when I look back on all the mistakes I made, not intentionally, but I made a lot of mistakes, right? And I think I've told you a few of them. If I had not made, let's say, one single mistake, and one of those things had not happened, which was really bad in my life, right? If, let's say, one moment had not happened, and it's so beautifully connected, that I won't be standing here having this talk in this moment with you, right? So in good times like this, where I'm enjoying being here, thanks for all of you being here. I reflect and I think, yes, I did make mistakes, but and things happened that didn't go my way. If one of them hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here. So I'm always thankful. So what I'm trying to say is, I got the job and then we make the best choice that we can in that situation with our high level of intelligence. Might be right, might be wrong, but if we keep learning, everything connects. And what you find is life is a beautiful business. Right? You learn from the books, you learn from the teachers, and the life, what it teaches you and what it makes you realize. Yeah, it's not a teaching, it's a realizing. Yeah? It's something very beautiful. For that, keep making your choices the best that you can and keep learning. So that was my interview and how I joined the car. Have I sing the song and then continue? Or- Oh, this is not going yes. It's all right. Okay. If you guys are getting bored and hungry and whatnot, just tell me, please. Yeah, I'll stop. Yeah. Yeah. कुछ ना तेरे सिवा सिवा गाना शिवा गाना शिवा ये शिवा जान मेरा चल जा चला Is the Thank you. So I don't know if you noticed the number of mistakes I made in the song. As I was thinking about what to tell next, versus just enjoying the song. So when I joined the garment factory, yeah, as a management trainee, so my thing right up there, right, with the management trainees, what do we do? We go and sit on the sewing machine. What? Are you going to stitch shirts? Like, I'm a management trainee. Yeah, we start with stitching the shirt. So, then, okay, I don't know what about, stitching shirts. Yeah? So this garment factory made Gap and Tommy Hilfiger and all these, different brands, yeah? Then, okay, what do I stitch? Okay, shirt, okay, where do I start? So then he had a person who came in, who was not a management trainee. How do I say this? Formal education might have been less, but he knew the ins and outs, how to get shirt done. Not only stitch, but get it done from a factory that's about, 600 to 700 employees. Right? So he taught me how to stitch. And one of the things he taught me, that was, the sewing machine. He said, Avi, do you know what's the most important thing when you're sewing? Like, yeah, this, that, blah, blah, blah. I got to get stitch straight and this and that. So, pay attention. Otherwise, one of your fingers will be a part of the shirt. So, paying attention. I learned while doing the first shirt. I did 6 shirts. Yeah, I gave one to each one of my close friends and my brother. We felt a sense of accomplishment. Right? Something comes to life. Piece of cloth that was just lying there. Yeah? Cut it, you make it into something that you can wear. And figure that some people will say, oh, that's so cool. You created something. Right? So that's what I felt sewing the first shirt. From there onwards, he showed us, how everything comes into the receiving area and how it goes into the cutting room, right? How big machines work to cut the pattern that is given by the designer. Right? So we come to the design part of it. So besides, models, all of that, use and cut accordingly. And then how that moves into the different stages of production. So over 6 or 7 months, I learned how all of this works in the factory, right? From stitching the shirt to paying attention to working with, different, um, I would say, responsibilities of a manufacturing unit. And the part of that in that training was the ERP system. So we're talking about computers and systems. How that helped us to manage all of this work, how to make it efficient. So computers, your phone, all of these things are tools to help you design. If we think AI is going to give me a design, right? Yeah, it does. Don't get me wrong. But it gives you the same design and maybe a little bit. But there's nothing unique. And you know what makes it unique? It's the way you design it. Yeah? Computers, your phone, all of these things are tools to help you design. I made a few mistakes in the song. That makes it unique. If it was AI, there's no mistake, right? But without that mistake, something is amiss. And when I say mistake, I mean variation, right? That can only come from you. So in this design-centric discussion that we have, right? If we are to design with our mind, mind is like a tool. Calculation. But if you were to design with your heart, right? All emotion. So I used to sing a lot of songs for my girlfriend and whatnot. And I used to sing because I was sad or I was happy or something, right? Then I started singing to win prizes and whatnot. Then I started singing to my kids. And social media came, I started singing to get likes. Right? But now I sing because it makes me happy. That's it. There's nothing else. So I don't know how to explain this, right? But all of these small experiences lead you to that point in time where you're doing what you like. Number one, like playing the guitar, I like it. But then you get to a point where, let's say, I have to clean the floor. In America, we have to clean our floor and do the whatever, right? Rooms and everything. I wouldn't like it. No, I enjoy that. How and when? It's also design. Right? So where I was going with this is knowing what we have, doing what we like is one part. Doing it for, making this or getting our pictures in the paper or the number one design, etc. is another part. And we should all pursue it. Yeah, I'm not saying don't. Using our mind, our emotions, thoughts, tools, do it. But then you will find in between all of this, right? There is a design that you would have sketched on a paper napkin at 2 a.m. in the morning, which you would have just thrown some. Or you were in a bus and you would have just sketched it. Some lines, yeah? Or you might have been with your friends talking. The subject might have been boring, you might have said something. And you realize that this design came upon which you thought was not perfect and whatnot is something really cool and built, right? So where I'm going with this is don't ever think something that you sketch and discard it please. Have a notebook, have one place where you keep sketching and don't tear anything out. Because when time comes and you go through sketching, voila, something else comes up. And how these designs and ideas come to you, I don't know. So I don't want to get into philosophy and whatnot, but use the tools that you have, but also at the same time respect. That if a design comes to you, draw it, don't regard it, and keep it. With that, what has happened is you caught it, and you planted it. Right? So every time something comes to you, it's like planting a seed. It's like the nice plant that you've given. Yeah, there was a seed that was planted, which has flowered. Similarly, every design comes to you, just draw it, keep it, and you'll see it will flower into something. So if you were to ask me, what is the practice? We talked about learning, we talked about giving the best, attention, all of it. But as you go through life, grow. As you go through life, something comes to you, write it down, right? Or put it on your phone. And where that has led me is when I was in college, when they asked me what did I want to become, what did I say? husband, yeah. And when I became a husband, I said, you know what, I want to become a father, right? Then I became the father, right? And then the kids grew up. That was very challenging. But that's where I learned what's unconditional love. With my wife, I gave her a Valentine card. There was a Valentine's Day recently, right? You guys exchanged cards and flowers and whatnot with your loved ones, yeah? Family, friends, whatnot. I gave something, and there used to be role plays in our college. And I gave something, I was expecting something. It's only with children. I never expected, and that's what gave me a glimpse of unconditional love. Yeah? To sum all of this up at this point, and I keep looking at the watch because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. Learning is one part, designing is one part, right? Paying attention. Now we're talking about what helps us transplant and grow the design or the idea that comes to us is just by sketching. But how does that come? Is to lead a good life, right? Study hard, pursue your career, but also at the same time, get married on time, right? Have children, right? Because you know what? I didn't learn much from college. I didn't pay attention. I passed, right? But I didn't learn as much as I should have. Maybe I was more emotional person, maybe, or my mind was not apt for it. So I did everything from the heart. When the children came, it's like how I become serious after I proposed to my wife. Right? When the children came, ideas and sort of the started taking shape. Everything, my work, my life. How? If you ask me, I would say because I learned that it's unconditional love, selfless love, right? And I only know that. I don't know if others know of any other meaning, but for me, that's the meaning. Yeah. So I'm not saying this is the mantra and this is the thing. Yeah? I'm just saying it helped me, so I'm just sharing that with you. And that unconditional love, when I put it, I got laid off from my job in America, and said, "What am I going to do?" And I said, "Let's start a business." Right. So that's how it started. My first son was a year and a half. Okay. He had 6 months worth of savings from the bank. So I started a business. And parallel at work, everything worked out. Then we had the second baby, and the time came, I said, I can't do business and have any work, so I'm going to quit my job and focus on the business. And because of the children, or getting a glimpse of unconditional love, the goal that we set for our company to become the world's #1 consulting firm in 100 years was to connect with innovative minds. That's what we set in 2007, yeah? 2006, 2007. We set the goal that as a company, we have to become a community of innovative minds or innovative people. Thus, we become world's #1 consulting. It wasn't, it had to be X amount as a turnover or X number of employees, but this was it. Now, was it out of love, out of analysis? I don't know. So when you ask me how all of this thing has happened, the answer is I don't know. But I've enjoyed it. Yeah? Every day has been a blessing. I've enjoyed it. So 2007, I started with standpoint, and we got pregnant with our third child. The third child, unfortunately, within a month, we lost in the pregnancy. Right? It was a very, just to get choked up. Emotional. And I thought about it and everything. And I said, should we adopt the child? Should we start off? Right? two things that came to my mind. And over 3 years, right? So the company, okay, we're going to be the world's community of innovative people. But personally, this had happened. And we were in Italy, that is me and my wife. This is a few years later. And we saw in the village, right, by the ocean. And there was a monument that said, in loving memory of Mayo, right? And this is back in 2009, 2010. So on my BlackBerry, I Googled after I went. And it said, who's Mary and whatnot. And she was a girl from the US who had been swept away into the ocean. A 21-year-old girl. She was standing there with her fiance. And the parents had come there and made this monument so others wouldn't go to, they'll be careful. As I was discussing this with my friends, my friend was again, everything has been personal, so when I was discussing it with him, he's no more as well, he was home. I said, where do you get this strength to do this right after you lose a child? And he said, I'll be in America. This is what I learned from America, right? So in India, I learned something, in America, I learned is, if we go through some pain, we have to do the best that we can so others don't have to go through. And that put me on this trajectory. So the reason that man were classmates and she didn't know is because I changed my last name. It was Yogi, right? And how it came about was I thought about what can I share with the children. Okay, I've lost one child of pregnancy, right? But what would I have done if this child had come into the home? And what came to me was, you know, what my grandma, teachers, everyone would teach, which is learn from it. Okay? Everything that happens is for your good. I don't know if you have heard that from your, right? So we think, you know, this education is good. Yes, skills are good, right? Do all of this. But don't discount what your grandma and your mom and your uncles are telling you, because that's like an OS operating system. Right? So I said, no. They always said, learn from everything. That's what we can share. Learn from everything. And nothing's in our hands. It's all, you know, there's bigger fish, right? God, whatever you want to call it. And they would always say, health comes first. Because if I'm not healthy, I can't be here. Right? If you're not healthy, you can't be healthy. So first thing is health. Do what you have to do for health first. Right? So learning, yes. But what's the top priority? Health. Be healthy. So that's number two. Number three, they said, standard of living. Protect and improvement. Right? Have you heard that? Right? Correct? What that means is be open, lighthearted. You're angry with someone, not that you want, you know, out of profanity, but tell your friend, hey, what, I'm angry with this stuff. She'll say, or he'll say, I didn't really mean that. It's all cool. But nowadays I hear that kids are breaking up from their, you know, boyfriend, etc., because the text did not come within but expectation that the text should come immediately. Yeah. Yeah. Like, what are we talking? So where I'm going with this is be in person, develop a relationship. And that's what I learned from my ancestors, my friends, and everyone, which is to learn from everything and everyone, to focus on health, and to have good friends and good relationships. The last name means that if you balance, right, the one that could happen. If I keep just doing this, singing and standing and going on, right, without focusing on, let's say, my kids or the company or my family, it's all break down, right? Though it might be something that I enjoy. So balance, right? If you're on your phone, go out and play a little bit or hang out with your friends, right? It's balance. If you're studying too much, then relax and go. If you're relaxing like me too much, then study a bit, okay? So, but the key is balance. And if you balance, And it's art. I'm still figuring it out because first you're balancing school and home, right? Think about two balls, right? That you're throwing javelin, and then you start balancing. Okay, now let's say you're in college, right? Okay, now there might be another additional responsibility than a job, right? Then okay, then my partner, right? My children, and my parents, right? So it's a juggling act. And sometimes you want to drop the ball, again pick it up, again start with balance. Right? But if you start balancing, you're going to be healthy. But you know what happens with balancing? Design ideas start coming. If you sit here, right? Let's say we all sit here on a drawing board and say, let's not think to design the best shirt in the world. I don't know if it will come around, but I do know that if we all say, hey, you know what? Let's go out, let's relax, come back, balance, right? There's a chance that this idea will come, right? So if we balance, we start getting good. When we write them down, which we talk about, right? In the books, we plant those ideas. And in life, you're going to win and you're going to lose. There's going to be some happy times, there's going to be some sad times. There's going to be some A's and some F's, right? Some good and some bad. But if you learn from both, right? Learn from both on how you can be the better or best more, right? You know what happens is the idea starts growing in front. And that's what the last name was, which is Geo. So I coined that, okay? And whatever the ideas that started coming to me, I started writing them down under balance, open, and learn. Now there are 3 books that got published and 1 album, songs. And there are 17 more books that I've just noted. So all I'm trying to tell you is being in fashion tech, keep drawing, yeah? Focus on your health, good relationships. And what is your dream? If I may ask, to be in Paris? Is that what it is? Or what? Fashion? In Paris and all that? Okay. But the way I look at it is, why wait till Paris? Why can't you start from now? Yeah? In fashion technology. So I know I've talked a lot, but I gave you everything that I do. I try to do to have a design-centric thought process, which is to focus on my health first, with balancing, being open and honest about whatever I feel and think, and keep learning from every day and every. And we'll conclude with this song. I know it's too much information, or was this easy? Easy, simple? All right, I'm glad to hear. If you have any questions, I'll take those as well. But can I sing a song? So in Hindi, English, English? English song. All right, I'll sing the English song. Yeah? And then I'll sing the Hindi. Let's. In the only no one feel, no one listen. Won't you stay? Won't you stay? Won't you stay? When the sun that we look for should come No, be afraid. Listen. So, you say, you say, um, children, are bigger, you. So, no, then will be so to say, what else? Keeping my health okay with balance. I'm 53 right now. Yeah. Um, my wife always says that I am a year of traditional living. So 52, 53. Up to this point, has helped me to improve balance. Trying to, yeah. Trying to be on the better. It's helped me to design, I guess, my life. You want to say that? It does help. Yeah. And what that means is work-wise, in the company, whatever that has happened. But then if you take it a little personal, maybe the meaning of my life over the last day, which is now balance over anywhere. Then one day we said we want to design a home. So I got $50 software and I designed a home, right? And then I called the architect and I said, I don't understand structural, but can you do that? You get that? So now the home is two songs. The last song that I was singing at the end is my own song, which I'll share. It's a kind of a song. But songs that have come that I paid a little bit. And the reason now I wear this clothing, yeah, I just want to share the design comments. So I was looking for a linen jacket, yeah, and I went to Italy and whatnot, and they had those blazers, right? So the coats, correct? But I want something like this, which I couldn't find. And this was in my closet. What do you call these? Shacket or something? You know, where they put shacket, yeah? So I took that and, you know, I put the coat in it, yeah? And then it sort of became, you know, the coat or blazer that I like. And, you know, you know, the jeans, I wear them, but I like the, what do you call it? The pants now, right? So I like that. My father doesn't like it. It's like, you're going like to present children, what are they going to think? I'm like, yeah, I'm comfortable. Yeah. And I like wearing dhotis and whatnot, but I don't know how dhoti would be practical as well. So now I start wearing, you know, something like this, but it's comfortable. So how is this fashion tech and design centric mind, right? train of thought going to help you. I feel it's going to define who you are. And it takes time. Who you are, and what that means is, there's a plant now, yeah? If you keep watering it, one day the flowers come, right? When those flowers come, I don't know, each one to their own. But whenever those flowers came to the plant, I really enjoyed it. I thought I did this, I did that, and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm in the realization that all I can do is water the plant. The flowers come, it's sun, the air, earth, something divine, right? So the last thing that I want to share with you is my children and home. If you ask me, that must be my wife. Who must be saying, Paul, that you're going to be here at. What I tell them is, my great grandfather taught us this. He lived to be 107. Said, Ravi always, when you was a kid, say, did you pray? I said, yeah, I did. And I thought most of the times I wouldn't. And then when we woke up, he would say, did you pray? I said, I didn't pray. Then he would make us. And just getting out of the bed, the prayer. And that's what I tell my children now, because they're 25 or 26 and 22. They've graduated, right? Telling them to get married on time, have children, all of that. But in addition, all I ask them sometimes is, I can't tell them, you eat on time and all that, yeah? That's their want. But when I ask them something, it's usually the you pray. And all I can tell you is, this balance and whatever they want, that is fine. But if there's one thing that has helped me from kindergarten to now, right, is that I have prayed. And praying means to whoever and whatever you believe, right? And I've asked for whatever I want. And I've written that down as well. I wanted a home, it happened. I wanted a car, that sports car and whatnot that I really liked as a kid, that happened. Family, that has happened, so that was the top. But long story short, things and relationships have happened, and if the flowers have bloomed, all I can tell you is it's beyond us, right? But what can we do is what? What are the things? What can we do is sketch, right? That comes to us. That's what we can do. How it's going to materialize, how it's going to create the world's top fashion house, right? For each one of you. Right? Or lead the fashion house, or whatever in fashion or any other domain. I don't know. But one thing I know is, no matter what your pursuit and road is going to take you and wherever it's going to go, if you start enjoying water without worrying about what flowers came and what did, you're going to enjoy the life. So whatever I've just talked about, which is balance, open, relationship, and then finally praying, I feel it's if you can, which is only you will know. So that's all I have to share today. And this is what I do now for a living. I can share last year. So this, it's in the classroom like this, or I go to near my house now there's a garden. So I go there and sing, then some kids come, some people come. And in the US, by our house, just like how the garden is, there's a nice river, there's an amphitheater, so I go in this for about 2 hours when weather permits. Why do I do it? Because I'm happy. And everything that I wanted is blue. So now, as much as I can, I share this, right? Hopefully it has helped you. Hope, yeah. Are there any questions? You can ask any questions, personal, professional, anything. Are we put on time? We're going to. before my wife calls. Yeah? Any questions? Anyone? No question? No.
So where do you stay here in Udupi?
Fine. I just found out that very close to where your man stayed. So it's by, where the new ground is. It used to be called Dilip. Near Vishnu Better. Okay, so, okay, so we all, the world is small, yeah? I was in, where was it? In South America, and I was in the middle of nowhere, and I met this person, and they asked me, okay, where are you from? I said, I live here in Chicago. They're like, oh, we're 3 streets down, right? So the world is small. So that's where it is. Okay. Any other questions?
May I know the garden where you play?
Okay, that's, ah, so now, Ashok Garden, Ashok Nagar, that's one Raj Nagar there. So I usually go there and play. The last week or so, I have gone to, so amongst the kids here, I know you are doing some project with the children, the girls' home, orphanage. Who's doing that? You are doing, you, yeah, 2, 3? Okay, 4. Okay, so I want to thank the 4 of you personally. Huh? Good job. So thank you for going and sharing with those kids, whatever you are doing. I was there sometime, and I bought a bag that they had made, knitted, right? Then I told them that I'll pay for a sweater that they can make for me knitting. So thank you, and I think there's like a guard, right? A guard who stays at the gate. So she learned knitting from YouTube, right? And she gets these beautiful things. So I'm hoping that she'll knit a sweater for me, which I'll buy. But what I wanted to share with you is, and in line with what Madam had started on. So we were discussing the project, and when the kids told me, I was there last Tuesday. But as a next step, ma'am, that what we're going to do is set up an online make to order shop and highlight all of these things. And let's see where it goes. Once it's so I don't know how that came about as a question, but thank you again for the chance. Any other questions? Anyone? It could be about fashion, it could be about tech, it could be about personal, professional, anything. Any question? No question. Do you want to use the AI? Okay. So in that case, there are no questions, then yes. You can ask. You don't need to be shy. I don't think I was shy in telling everything. Anything? No. No question. All right. Any questions? Because the children don't know, the kids don't know. From you, any questions that I need to address?
There's a lot of questions. I don't think so this time will be.
Okay. So why don't we, if there are no questions, okay. I'll give one more. Yeah? Any questions? Yeah, ask. Anyone? No? So, yes.
Here, just stitching a shirt.
Yeah. I would say initially I hated it because I didn't know. But then after the shirts started coming together, I stitched a total of 6 shirts. Yeah. The first one was a little sloppy. Second was a little better. But I think the last three or the last two came out really good because I got a hand, because it was new, I didn't know. And I had gone there with the ties and I management trainee, right? Thinking I'm gonna do this, do that, right? So long story short, by the time, the 6 shirts were done, the fact that I remember it, I think I can conclude that I liked it, because otherwise I wouldn't have remembered, yeah? Yes, so to answer your question, yes, I did. And, in my home, I have a sewing machine that I don't use, but you know how things trigger, yeah? So my son got a old vintage car, and he needed to stitch leather cover that goes around the stick shift. So he took the machine down and he started stitching. And the way he stitched that first row was like, wow, right? So that's why I say, you know what, if I am like the old phone that's on the wall, like twin, you guys are the smartphones, so whatever I've said, right? I think you will do much more quicker and bloom into the best that you are, much more quicker and better. Any other question? Good question. No? Sorry, say that again? One Hindi song, okay. All right, so I'll sing a Hindi song and I'll end with the comments.
Yes.
Hindi song. New song. I'll do it. I think I can do this, yeah. I think my, it's a Hindi movie. Saif Ali Khan's played the lead in it way back, and then his daughter made the same movie. Dawaj Khan or something. The song is from the old movie, it's called Duriya. Do you guys know it? Huh? You guys know this one? You don't? No? I'll sing it. Check. ये दुनिया ये राह निगाहों सभी दूरी कोई न जाए यहाँ जाए मैं हूँ कहाँ ये दूरी ये राह सभी दूरी Last time, any questions? We'll call it development. Anything that you want to cover, in everything over the next section.
I think,
You're done?
it was a very good blend of,
Oh. So I'll Can I tell the last thing on what not to do?
Yeah, that's very important.
What not to do? When the iPhone came, the first version back in 2006, I stood in the line and bought it and enjoyed it a lot. It was amazing. 2 years later, I bought my son, who was 7 or 8, a phone. Right? I didn't know better. Now looking back, it's one of the things that I wish I hadn't done. As we speak here, there is a major litigation that has started in the US pertaining to the addiction to social media. And we talked about paying attention on the solution, right? I can't pay attention. I realize because I was always anxious to check my phone. Even now, when it rang, right? Then I won't be connected. I get out of the flight, first thing I'm checking is my phone. And what am I checking? It's not about trying to share something or any of that. It's about how many likes I got, right? How many comments I got, or did my friend say hi or something, right? Which is not a world-changing event or any form of passion for, but I'm addicted. to the phone. And it's taken me quite a bit of effort to come out of that addiction because my work is also. So again, it's a balancing act. My recommendation and advice to everyone is, I'm not saying technology is bad, but the litigation that's going on right now is the technology gurus who created this new how the technology is designed, right, to have the same effect as a cigarette. So let's say if I was a smoker, I go out and smoke, right? I come back, I work for 1 hour. If you ask the smoker, why are you going back to have another cigarette? He said, I'm anxious, right? There's a chemical that's released in the brain that makes you go back and want to have another cigarette. It's the same design that's been put into social media. So we got to be 50 plus. Now I realize that you guys are 15, 18, 16 plus, and right? 20 plus. So if that helps you, that helps you, but I would say balance technology, especially social media, have more in-person conversations. I'm not saying go completely, go on it. Balance, right? That's all I had as the last thought. If there are no questions, I'll bring the last thought and I'll see you when I see you next. No more questions? Or- So this is a Kannada song. Hope you like it. That was a song that came to me originated written in sorry, English and then translated to Kannada and then. That's it. Any more questions? Not? Yes. Say that again. Okay. Calm and cool. You should have seen me in the car. Huh? Not getting the parking. What was the word? Car was telling me. So I'll say this, right? Because it's a fact. My major issue is anger. I lose my mind. And it was like we have friends, they're good. Yes, I'll be nice to system for something. But uh, when my children left, one politics and one was job. And all you want to become a pastor and then all you want to become a farmer and everything. But when they left for 3, 4 months, I was very anxious. And about what will happen. Right? So imagine throughout your life, okay, you're going in one car with your parents, right? Your father or mother is driving on a highway. Suddenly now you've grown up, and you and your brother or sister, your mother, everyone is in their own car, and your father is in his car alone. Okay. So when that situation happened, 3, 4 months, this or that, I went through a lot of anxiety. Whatnot. One day I was standing, this was about 4 months after, I was standing to make a right and come home. I started sweating profoundly. My heartbeat was very high. I thought, this is it. Done. So I made a sharp right turn. So instead of making this turn to go home, I made a sharp right turn to go to the hospital. The emergency. So this is it. So when I did that, there was a car in front of me. Okay. Hold on. So while I'm telling you that, so there was a car in front of me, really, very good. Thank you. It wasn't his problem, but I almost hit the car. The bumper was written, surrender to him. Okay. So I pulled over, went a little bit further, pulled over, because I almost hit the car. In that 1 minute, have you heard that if you're going to die, then you share your whole life company? So I remembered like that. So all they used to say, hello, President. If something bad happened, they'll say, hello, not done. So I sat there and said, you know what? I've done the best that I could as a father. This is it. Now it's in your hands. And all the best. With that, ever since now, I do get angry. I remember this. And what can I do? I come here for I could whatnot. But then even check it first. Things are not going my way, I'm delayed, and time is important, and this and that. Huh? So when I come and have these conversations, or in between, then I remember, what could I do? I could come on time. Huh? I did all my things on time. But this happened. Thank you. I come. So long story short, the last thing that I told, yeah, it has helped me to unbecome a father to a friend. So now I'm not worried so much about my kids. But in doing so, I found a newfound love. Worry and attachment is one form. Huh? But now there is something new, which for you it might be rocket science because you have to go through it. And that's why I tell them this. Huh? Open up, share, connect, get married on time, have children. Huh? And then one day, if you're sitting in the car and you start worrying, then you'll be like, oh, obviously I thought, better. So to answer your question with my anger, I used to get angry about things that were out of my control. Now I've come to realize 99.99% is out of my control. Everything. So what do I do? And what can I do? Is drive the best that I can. What will happen? It's out of my control. So my anger has. I used to water the plants thinking I'll get flowers. Expectation, then the flowers won't come, then I have to get steps and this and that, and let's put fertilizer, blah, blah, blah. Now, it's water, enjoy the water. Flowers haven't come. Thank you. Tomorrow. So that's helping me to calm down. I think it's helping me sort of design also and focus on what I need. So, yeah, that's what I can tell you. I hope it wasn't complex, but that's what I do. Okay. Any other question?
So,
Yes, yes.
one good advice for an athlete.
One good advice for happy life. One good, if you were to ask me like one word for happy life. That word for me today is samadhi. And it's a beautiful word, yeah? Samadhi means be content. And it doesn't mean be content with I got 50 marks when I would have gotten 100. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about doing the best that we can and then being content. Similarly, once you build the house that you want, be content. Once you get the car that you want, be content. Otherwise, we start chasing happiness, right? Thinking happiness is in this, that, things, right? Accomplishments, becoming a CEO, and trying to change the world, and blah, 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 whatever. And I'm not saying don't do that. But if we learn to be content with whatever happens, though we're trying our best, right? I think it leads us into more than happiness, you can call it bliss or whatever. So that would be my recommendation. Samadhi. So how does that all connect? My ancestors and everyone would tell, yes, caste, charity, right? Ask questions, correct? So these small things that we think, oh, what were those, right? How are they going to help me reach the pinnacles of life? Well, those are the things that are helping me sleep well, huh? Because I died last year. And I'll be frank and I'm going to tell the story, right? Ma'am, so all my friends got other cars, more bigger houses and whatnot. I'm happy with the house. I have a 20-year-old car, the same sports car that I really like. I have two motorcycles which I love riding. So things, right? Kids are happy, everyone's happy. So all of that, right? Things, position, everything done. Last year I retired. And what does that retirement mean? Right? So whatever is the income that is coming from the company and what is going down to the foundation. So whatever the surfacing. Why? I don't need it. So how much do I need? In India, my goal is 1,000 rupees per day. I should be able to live for good life, which is 30,000 rupees. I'm not talking about that. Here's the thing. Savings are there, house is there, all of that. I'm talking about retirement. Okay? So if you ask me, being content to start before the alarm from there, that is my happiness. So that is how much I cover. Outside in America, traveling, 100%. Let's see. But whatever I'm getting as extra is going to the foundation. In doing so, I'm content. Retirement for me means no longer working for money. So if I'm no longer working for money, what's happening is better design for me. And I'm no longer working for likes and some, awards. That's how ideas are happening. And I'm meeting more beautiful people like you. Right? And I'm enjoying myself. So for me, that is happiness. So that is my retirement. From financial system. Now, I'm going to help you all, and this is my retirement, what I have done, but it helps you. We've talked about how to excel in your career and personal life, but when you hit 50, what happens? Whatever is extra, that's going into the foundation to support children in this. Whatever will be left behind, gone, everything goes to the foundation to support the children. So whoever is running the foundation, be it the children, employees, etc., can use everything, but they have to keep doing this, what I'm doing, which is to go share the experience with the next generation. So I don't know what the question was, but where I've come to is being content means for me, having a good night's sleep, having these conversations, and enjoying the country. So all the best with everything, and thank you for having me here. I love it. And if there are any questions, anything, madam is there. And I think, ma'am, the 3 to 4 children who join the call, anytime you can join, conversation can happen, and I'll let you talk.
On behalf of everyone present here, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for taking the time to share your valuable knowledge, insights, and experience with us. Your words were not only inspiring, but also deeply thought-provoking. The clarity with which you explained each point and the passion you brought to the session truly made a lasting impact on all of us. You have motivated us to think bigger, work harder, and believe more strongly in ourselves. The practical examples and real life experience you shared have given us guidance that we can apply in our own journeys. We are truly grateful for your presence and for the energy and positivity you brought into this gathering. Thank you once again, sir, for such an enlightening and memorable session. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So is it up so that it doesn't, Yes. Thank you very much. Thanks again. All the best.
Let me go over there.